Hello, my name is Nicole and welcome back to another Crochet Swatch Saturday. Today we are going to feature the loops and threads heathered bamboo. Okay, so this is going to be a weird intro, but I wanted to pop in as I'm editing this video and the next one. The audio on these two is really wonky because I accidentally had two microphones going at the same time. So there's quite a little bit of an echo. You actually get used to it the longer you listen to it. So hopefully that doesn't totally warp your ability to watch these next couple of Swatch Saturdays. And if it does, all of the details will be down below in the notes. So if you just want to get the evaluation, it is below. But if you still want to listen to the commentary on me swatching these up, it is I think it's something you can get used to. Thanks for your patience, and we'll get this right soon, I promise. Bye. I have an obsession with bamboo yarn, as I think many of the people that I've talked to out there do, because it is so freaking soft. It is just heavenly. So today we are going to give this a try and see if the mix with acrylic overcomes the worst of both of those properties. Fingers crossed, because I would love, love, love to find an amazing bamboo yarn. All right, let's turn it over. Okay, so here we have this very, very pretty heathered bamboo. Now this is a bamboo that is a twist plied of green and white. So I'm wondering if maybe the green is the acrylic and the white is the bamboo. And the reason that I say that is because the green appears to have just a hint of a halo to it. Oop, and there's a hint of my husky hair. Has a hint of halo to it, whereas the white does not seem to have that. So we are going to see if we can't find the end here. Wow, okay, so we found the end, and we can see what I was talking about. This is very twisted yarn, very many plies, and it is unraveling as we speak. So in warnings and concerns, I am definitely going to have to give this a couple points off, as well as the fact that, I mean, really? Now I have to figure this out? Okay, well, here we go. This is with a 4.5 millimeter hook as recommended by the yarn. And, let me get my trusty ruler out here so we can measure how long we are swatching. This, I was surprised as I was kind of doing my homework on this, getting ready, is actually a worsted weight yarn. And I'm surprised at that because most bamboos are a DK or a sport weight yarn. I didn't know that there was an option for worsted weight, which is actually kind of comical to me because I was just talking to somebody today about how it would be nice to have a worsted weight bamboo. So we are going to see if our negative first impression follows through as we kind of progress here. I do have to say, on first impression, this yarn is super soft, as you would expect with a bamboo, and much softer than what you would expect with an acrylic. I mean, it is, everything that I would hope for in a softness, for sure. Now the fiber content is 53% acrylic and 47% bamboo. My hope is that that combination overcomes the scratchy itchiness of acrylic and the splittiness of bamboo. So far, however, yeah, this doesn't give me good happy vibes. Okay, this is quite twisty-turny. The color range, there are 12 color options for this. They're not all available at every Michaels store. When I kind of went around and looked at some of the Michaels stores and picked this up, I noticed that all the colors weren't available at every store. So you may have to order online to get the colors that you are looking for. This, I think it has decent stitch definition, but I think because the eye is being distracted by the difference in the white and the green, it's almost a little bit harder to visually pick up on the stitch definition. So it kind of blurs, it's like an optical illusion so that you don't quite see it. Now, there are certain colors in this yarn that are more solid, but I wanted this green because, one, I wanted to make some Christmas trees with it. Two, I like getting yarns that aren't just one solid color. I like to have fun with those. I like, because, you know, if I just wanted a white t-shirt, I could get a white t-shirt from Walmart. If I wanted a blue t-shirt, I could get a blue t-shirt. If I wanted a red sweater, I could get a red sweater. But what I love about the yarns is that they give us some options that we might not otherwise have in our wardrobe and garments. And I know not everybody that watches these are doing garments, but that's primarily what I do. So there you go. I'm actually really kind of liking this. I mean, I was very, very concerned. Now, if you've watched any of these, you know that the splittiness tends to be much more annoying on round 2 with the double crochets versus the single crochets. But so far, oh my goodness, it may be overcoming the really bad first impression, because I kind of love the way the two colors are working together to create a dimension. Oh, yeah. All right, let's trim you off. Now, one thing you would generally expect from a bamboo yarn, oh, look at that, yeah, is definitely a nice drape. And of course, with a worsted weight, you're going to have a little bit less drape than you would with a DK or a sport or fingering weight. But this isn't bad. It definitely feels lighter than most worsted weights. I actually don't work with a lot of worsted weights, but I mean, that coloring, yeah, you don't really see the stitch definition, but that's not because the yarn doesn't give it to you. It really is because that white on green is just kind of almost confusing your eyes a little bit. But if we get really close here, you can definitely see some stitch definition in there. All right, let's put you aside there and work on swatch number 2, the double crochet. So I have worked with the Truboo, and I gotta say, I am not a fan of that Truboo. It is just way too splitty for me. And again, I do think it has some to do with the twist of the yarn, if it's a right twist versus an S twist. But I mean, we can see here that there's definitely some splittiness in this. So let's see how it does on the double crochet. because I definitely find the double crochets split more. Yep, I went right in. Right, oh, yep. Okay. I don't know why, and maybe it's just me. You let me know if you ever do these. Do you find that yarn tends to split more on a double crochet? It's quite an interesting phenomenon to me. I do think, I mean, I'm trying to remember back with the Truboo. I think this is easier to use. I really do. Washability, as we're kind of working through this, the washability on this is great. It's a cold water wash, which I don't think I would ever warm water wash any of my garments, so I always expect at least a cold water wash. Cold water wash, and it is tumble dry low, so that is great. And I have, no complaints there. That's exactly what I would hope for. Whoops. Now, looking at the reviews on the Michael website, I did see a lot of people giving this 1 star because of the splitty nature of it. Again, I'm just not finding it quite as splitty as the Truboo was. But if this is your first experience with a bamboo yarn, I could see that would be like really annoying. But if you've used a bamboo yarn before and you know full well that it's going to be splitty, then you might be pleasantly surprised with this one. I have no reason to believe that this yarn is going to bleed. I'm not going to do a color, I don't know why I can't ever remember the phrase for that. Yes, that, thank you. Test to see if it bleeds. I'm not going to do that on this one just because, well, you know what, I think I will, because I also want to see how the yarn kind of feels after it's been washed. So I will give it that color test and finish up this video as soon as that has been done. That usually takes me a few minutes to wash it, let it dry, and all that kind of good stuff. So here's the double crochet. I mean, I actually really, really like this. I think it gives a really lovely product. There's the double crochet. And no issues frogging whatsoever. Again, I caught all of my splits and snags. If you don't catch those, it's probably going to be a nightmare to frog this. So a caveat on that is to make sure that if you snag it or split it, that you do go back and you undo that for a couple of stitches to fix that. So let's go ahead and look at that, it even lies flat. You know the sign of a good drape when I don't have to do anything to the swatch to get it to lay flat. Now I know this print is giving the eyes a little bit of a buzz feed, but look, oof. Yeah, that's nasty. Well, you can't really see that here. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, that's nasty. Nasty, nasty. And that might have been what happened when I pulled it out. So let's go do our color swatch on this, and we will be right back. All right, we are back for our verdict over here. This did not bleed at all. It did not get all fuzzy when it got washed. So as far as washability goes, I will definitely add a point to that. I don't have any qualms whatsoever. Definitely a 10 out of 10. Okay, so let's talk about this. In case I have not already, because I can't remember now, we're going to go through the rating. So for fiber content, we're definitely giving this a 7 out of 10. I'm not a big fan of acrylic. I was slightly hoping that the acrylic bamboo would sort of overcome one another. It certainly overcame the acrylic scratchiness, but not the bamboo splittiness. So we're going to give that a 7 out of 10. Color range was 12. It's decent. It's okay. I mean, it's not the worst in the world. We're going to give that an 8 out of 10. I probably should evaluate that again, because I know there are some yarns that just have a tremendous amount of color options. Maybe we'll give it a 7 out of 10. We'll see. I don't know. Frogability. Easy peasy. Not a single thing. As long as you don't hit a snag. Don't hit a snag, because then I'm sure it's going to be a tremendously challenging frogability. So we're going to give that an 8 out of 10. Splittiness. Okay, let's insert some tears of disappointment here. I was really hoping that the acrylic would overcome the horrible splittiness of this yarn, and it just didn't cut it. I mean, especially on that double crochet, and where you can kind of see certain areas where it just got really, really bad. I'm trying to find one for you right now. And of course I'm not going to. That's totally okay. But oh, well, on the swatch, I mean, we've got hair. It's got hair. So yeah, 4 out of 10. Definitely a 4 out of 10. It could be worse. I think the Truboo is worse, but it could, yeah, we're just going to go 4 out of 10 there. Stitch definition, I think that this has a really genuinely good stitch definition, but you can't really see it because of the way that it is two colors twisted together. So the green and the white sort of play off of each other, so it makes it hard visually to kind of see those stitch definitions. So we'll give that a 7 out of 10. It is not the yarn type fault, it is the yarn colors fault. Let's see, what else do we have? The feel. Okay. I mean, this is my dream feel. Like, I wish that I could find a yarn that is this soft and luscious that is usable. I mean, really. 10 out of 10 for the softness. Drapiness. We are going to give that a 10 out of 10 because honestly, for a worsted weight, this is as drapey as I think you can get. It's amazingly pliable. There's no curl to this. I mean, as far as like the wonky kind of curl that goes like this. So I'm definitely going to give drapiness a 10 out of 10. And of course, washability is clearly a 10 out of 10. It is machine wash cold, tumble dry low, no issues whatsoever on the wash test, so we are good there. Warnings and concerns. Oh my gosh, the yarn barf. Can we not? This is a serious disadvantage. And then, we get that splittiness in there. There it is. Yeah, right there. See that nastiness? Oh, that is almost, and for some of you it probably is, a deal breaker right there. Yeah, so I've got to give this a 5 out of 10 for concerns. This is just nastiness. Price. It's a pretty average price. It's not overly priced. It's not like a discount budget yarn, so we're going to give that an 8 out of 10. That gives us an overall verdict of a 7.7 out of 10. And would I use this yarn again? Yes, I think I would, despite this. I mean, because I can just, put this into a yarn a winder. That's what they're called, Nicole. And so really, as long as I use the right stitch, and this is the only thing that's like a major disappointment for me that is hard to overcome. Now I probably could cut this part out and just knot it, because I don't know how that would turn out overall in the project. So that's the only part that is like, oh, yeah, can't. So I think I would use this. I think I may actually buy some more of this too. Well, first I'll test it out with some Christmas trees, and then I might buy some to do up a sweater, because I think for me, living in Arizona, this is the perfect type of sweater garment material, because it's cool, it's lightweight. I mean, there's enough bamboo in it that I think it would be cool. It's lightweight, and so I think we would be good to go. So let me know what you think. Is the splittiness and that issue, is that a deal breaker for you? Have you used this compared to like a Truboo? Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you next week on another Crochet Swatch Saturday. Hey, Farrah, frog us out of here.